Yo, what is going on guys, my name's Defender Machine, and today I've got you guys a bit more of a personal video today. I'm going to actually tell you guys a story today, and it actually marks the anniversary of when this happened around 7 years ago. So if you didn't know by now, I'm 16 years old, and this happened when I was 9 years old, so obviously 16 minus 7 equals 9. Damn Machine, we're not fucking stupid like you. But anyways, today I want to tell you guys this stupid ass story and how it was avoidable, and don't be influenced by this when I actually tell you this, because obviously it's just stupid and I nearly died from it, so you guys don't want to be doing it. And first of all, what I want to say is, well, if you ever feel stupid after this story in any situation in life, whether that be asking a girl out, whether that be embarrassment of friends, whether that be if you're interested in a certain hobby that you're embarrassed about, or whether it's just like getting a question wrong in class or something at school, just don't, because after this, honestly, I was so stupid that I nearly managed to end my own life from my own doing without me knowing it. So hopefully that tells you that I'm a fucking idiot as well at times, as well as every other human being on the earth, but I managed to fuck up a lot more than the average human, and this situation here is a big fuck up. I nearly died, so let's get straight into it. Alright, so what actually happened first of all was, it wasn't just me doing something stupid by myself. Obviously you can't do something this stupid without being under the influence of someone else. So obviously I was with my best friend at the time, or a really good, highly considered friend that I actually used to do a lot of stuff with anyways. Like, we had the same interests, so we'd hang out a lot, or hang about a lot of the time when we weren't at school and stuff, and we didn't actually go to the same school. So obviously when we were together, we were just like mainly just fucking shit up and doing, I don't know, eating mud, eating shit and stuff like that, I don't know, pissing basically everything, all the energy we had away that we didn't use at school. And I'm not going to say that's something I'm proud of, not using loads of energy at school. It's just obviously when you're a kid, you have a different mental state and mental attitude towards things, so I like spending time and my energy doing things I like doing. And obviously I might have had a little bit of a mental state of a fucking idiot as well as that, and a little bit of just a general, to be honest, I don't really know what I was just a fucking dumb kid, okay? But anyways, it started all after school one day when we were just generally messing about, and it involves eating, like I said before, but not the involvement of eating shit or anything like piss or anything vulgar or disgusting that you would actually think is disgusting or could harm you. It involves the eating of something else, which actually nearly caused me to get poisoned and then die, obviously from poison and all the shit in my system, and generally throwing up everything that I've eaten, or not having any food to throw up, and then just kind of like starving or whatever. But anyways, like I said, I was out with my friend, and then we were just walking along, just doing our things, fucking about, just being young, wild and free like kids are. And then we saw these old women. Like, when I say old, like they were old, like they looked like they were in their 90s to hundreds. I'm not even joking. And this was just a really superstitious kind of theme. Like, if you imagine like Harry Potter or something, or like a really weird book, it was kind of like that, because the old women in it looked like witches and all sorts of stuff like that. And I was really scared at this point. And then they were like, oh, come over kids. And I was like, okay, let's go over there, and just, yeah, I don't want to get hurt, so don't hurt me. And I don't know why that really persuaded us to go over there in the first place. I think it was just more out of curiosity, because these people, they couldn't have even walked properly, I don't think. I don't even know how they were standing, because like I said, they were just so fucking old. When we got over there and we found out what they were doing though, it kind of seemed a little bit more calmer, and everything seemed a little bit less superstitious in terms of them me thinking they're witches and stuff like that, and they have like black cats, and I'm gonna get bad luck or I'm gonna die tonight and they're gonna cast a spell on me or some shit like that. But anyways, what they were actually doing was picking berries off a tree, and there's two trees right next to each other here. One of the berries on the trees being poisonous, and they were picking berries off a certain tree, and I didn't know which one was which at this point. So what they were actually doing with those berries was making like yogurts or something. You know what I'm on about if you're British, but I think it's like frozen yogurt or some shit if you're American or something like that. I'm not good with food, okay? That's a little bit besides the point though. The point was that they were picking berries off this tree, and they looked like they've been doing this for years, and they haven't moved from there in years because they were so slow at doing it. And you could tell by the wrinkles on their skin that they were so old, and they've been probably doing this pretty much all their life anyway. So I thought they'd be a pretty experienced people in terms of actually picking these berries and making these fucking yogurts. But it turns out they fucked up the trees and shit like that. I ended up eating poisonous berries, and my friend also did as well. So after that, what we really did, we just went back to my house and kind of like laid on the floor, rolling around in the middle of the road. I'm not even joking. I don't know why we did this. We thought it would kind of cleanse us of being in a death situation in terms of actually putting us in another. So the poison would go and all this superstitious bullshit that we believed in, because we were kids, obviously we believed everything we saw on TV and all this shit. And I was a pretty weird kid anyway, so I always made up my own shit, even though it wouldn't work, even if it put my life on the line like it did here. So now we're at the point where we're literally laid in the middle of the road where the cars go by on, so we could possibly get run over. I don't know why no cars came down at this point, so we're clutching our stomachs, and they're just hurting so much, so we literally can't move. And I'm laid outside my house, and I'm like, why is no one coming out? And then my dad finally comes out, and he's like, what are you doing laying in the middle of the road and that and all this stuff? And I was like, Dad, you need to try one of these berries. And he was like, no, they're poisonous. Then was like, yeah, you're dying with me, you need to eat one, I'm your son, you need to die with me, Dad. So then I was just kind of like persuading him for about 15 minutes just to eat one of them. And bearing in mind, I had about 50 of these motherfuckers. So my stomach was so badly hurting that I needed to throw up, I needed to shit, I needed to just get out my system. So my dad finally ate one, and then we went inside and stuff like that, and everything seemed okay until I started like throwing up all over the place and stuff like that. But we didn't actually go to the hospital, believe it or not, because it turns out that these berries, if you ate a certain amount of them, you'll be okay. But we kind of just took a bit of a gamble here. I know that's a bit of a bad thing to say, but honestly, I was convinced after going inside, laying down, taking a bit of a nap after throwing up everywhere and watching a load of Pokemon and just being convinced that I was watching Pokemon and I would be fine because I'm enjoying myself, that I would actually be fine and just not die. And I was actually right about that, believe it or not. Believe it or not, for my idiot kid logic, I don't know how I could trust myself back then because I was so stupid anyways to make the decisions. But the next day, we actually went back and saw the women doing the same thing again to it, and they were like, huh, yeah, those were the poisonous ones, sorry about that. And I was like, yeah, you nearly just killed us. And after all that, really, they just stopped doing it after that. They disappeared forever after that. But I want to know if you guys in the comment section below, if you've ever had any life-threatening times like this, or any funny times that have actually been kind of serious, but you look back on it now and you think, huh, I was an idiot back then, even though it was quite serious and I could have fucking died like machines. So anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and it might be quite special, the next video. And when I say might, it will be. So thank you all for watching again, and peace out.